I'm Lottie.
And I'm Mark.
And this is
Showtime
Shenanigans. Ow.
Yes, I'm old.
Lovely. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How's life going?
Yeah, it's going good. You're talking at the camera,
I'm
but also
talking
to me.
to no one. We have a very exciting episode today.
We do.
We have a guest coming on.
We also do. I'm very excited about this guest. We've been trying to get her on for ages.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of schedule clashing happening, but it's finally happening today. I say, well, yeah, it's been a few months.
And I'm stressed. I'm stressed, but I'm so excited.
I'm pumped to have her on. But first of all, we thought we'd do our segments to get them out of the way, because no one wants to watch those anyway in the middle of an interview. So, should we get started?
Let's get started.
Okay, so the first thing, key change of the week.
Am
Am I okay? Don't think so. In My Life from Les Mis. I just feel like that song has about 12 key changes in it, to be honest. It just sounds like it goes up every minute. But basically, it's the bit. She's singing it, and then she's like, I think, is it when Marius comes in? Or is it when she's singing to her, the dad, Jean Valjean, and she's like, I'm no longer a child and I am for the truth.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Years ago. It's definitely not that low. Is it that bit?
It's up there, but yeah.
But it's a beautiful song. I mean, a lot of people don't like Cosette.
No, but she is great.
But I think she's done nothing wrong. And I don't know why people don't
She's a little
like
bit
her.
misunderstood. I think because from what she seems like, she's had her life so easy, but it's quite easy to forget her as a child having literally
her
the worst
upbringing
life.
and her mother dying and all that. Yeah. So
It's
people are like, she had it so easy,
to forget.
Eponine dies and Cosette just gets the man. But then you remember.
You always remind
else.
yourself of everything that she also went through before Marius.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, yeah, that would do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, great song. Fabulous. I just love Les Mis. Okay. No, I miss her. We saw it last night. It was very
was 2
good.
weeks ago, but it's fine.
2 weeks ago when this came out, but we saw it last night. The day after it opened, and I thought I was gonna throw up. I was so like, oh my god.
It was so exciting and just nice to see, also our friends. It feels
Yeah,
like we know everyone that's in the cast.
That sounds really at ourselves, but just being like, oh my god, that's who would normally play Jean Valjean, but he's doing this bit and all that, because it's obviously a different.
But
cast.
also because we spent 3 months of our lives working with these people, we know them pretty.
We know them all right, and also some of the staff were obviously some of our old staff that were there before. So it was just nice to see them as well. But yeah, do you want to go?
I would love to. What we got today on the list? So the Garrick Theatre, which is just near Leicester Square behind the Portrait Gallery.
I don't know.
Behind the Portrait Gallery in Trafalgar Square, so just up there, the Garrick Theatre. Yeah, it is the Garrick Theatre.
Yeah, it's like opposite. Yeah.
It's opposite Leicester Square.
It's in between Leicester Square and Trafalgar Square.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's there. Anyway, so when they're making it, as they were making the basement / the stalls area of it, they found there was a river underneath. Well, there was a stream, lake. No, not a lake. A lake.
It's a river.
Pool of water. Anyway, they found that under the theatre, and it took them a lot longer to make the theatre because they had to deal with the fact that there was water underneath. So obviously, you don't want the floorboards just falling away in the water.
That would be a bit awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, and electricity as well is what theatre's actually made out of. So
yeah,
you don't want that going wrong.
That would not be good.
So yeah, it took them a long time to make the Garrick Theatre because of the water issue.
So I have a review here from a show. I'm not going to say what show, what theatre, because it just is something that just happens and you just can't really help it.
Unfortunately, lots of the theatres in the West End are very, very old.
Yes, and therefore you just get some friends popping in. So someone said, went to see blah blah blah. However, we got a lovely surprise playing around our feet while we were watching the second half. There were a couple of rats running around. It ruined the whole experience. My friend screamed when one of them kept running near us. They moved us to the other side of the room. The room. I mean, do you mean the auditorium? However, neither of us felt comfortable as we knew the rats would come towards us again. I mean, they said that they liked the show, so that's good.
So it's not a bad review of the show.
No, they were like, the show was great.
This is bad because it got rats chasing.
But there were rats.
I highly doubt there were rats. I just think there might be mice.
They were probably mice, but yes, it's just something. We're not saying that you have to like that there are mice or rats, but it is just something that happens.
It is a thing.
Unfortunately,
Let us know. Like, as a front of house member, let us know.
Please do. This lady says she did.
Yeah, so it's good to let us know because we can't just. I mean, we can't sort it out there and then, but we can get it sorted out.
They do have regular checks at theatres as well to like tapping them and like getting rid of them.
Because no one wants them.
No, but at the end of the day, you can't help it. It's like when you have them in your house, like in the loft or whatever. You can't do much about it.
Apart from get rid of.
But you know, I understand her. You know, that would stress me out.
If that happens, let us know. We then get someone in
to sort it
out more quickly than we would on you, because we had them like every kind of like couple months come in.
Yes.
So if it's a problem, you let them know early, and they come in early, and they tell you that specific area.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty much it for the segments.
Wow.
So, shall we introduce the guest?
I mean, you might as well introduce the guest.
So, guest this week is the wonderful Jodie Steele, who has been in so many things.
She had literally done everything.
She's done so much. She was Elphaba, she was Heather Chandler, she was, what's her name, in Rock of Ages. Anyway, Rock of Ages. Sherry?
No.
Sherry. It is, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, she's done Wicked, she's done Rock of Ages, she's done Heather, she did Hair at the on the jetty in lockdown. She's done like all the drive-ins. I mean, not all of them. She's done the drive-in during lockdown as well. She's about to open in 6 again for like the bajillionth time because it keeps getting cancelled because of like tears and all that. But she's about to open in 6. When this comes out, I think this episode comes out the day before they open. Because I think they open on the 19th and this episode's out on the 18th.
Well, that is cute.
So that's cute. So we all need to send positive vibes to the cast of 6 at the Lowry. She's just done everything, hasn't she?
She's
just
incredible.
A queen, literally.
Like, she just is one of the people that's just done everything. She's everywhere.
Yeah. And she's still, like, quite early on, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm really excited to talk to her because, yeah. She's great.
Yeah, we love her. So, without further ado,
let's crack into it.
So, hello, how is life?
Hello! Good, actually. Different, but good. Busy.
Yes.
Well, I'm really grateful. I mean, you know me, I will always make myself busy even in a pandemic. So, yeah.
I've been like seeing on your Instagram stories and stuff, and I'm like, oh, she is just like from 7 a.m. to like 10 p.m. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe later, but yeah, craziness. We'll just crack straight into the first question because we'll just get going. So,
okay.
obviously you did like the drive-in and hair and stuff like that. So how was it performing again after so long of just like nothing really?
Do you know, I was really anxious if I'm entirely honest. I think lots of people are out of practice, but I had been doing singing lessons and lots of recordings for people, so I wasn't really technically out of practice, but I think it's just the added pressure of you know, people watching.
Yeah, I guess so.
And people being there in person. And I sometimes get really bad stage fright, which is hilarious, right? Because it's my job. But I do. So I was really nervous, but I was so excited. And it felt so magical, particularly Hair. That was such a magical little contract. Both of them were. But the first one particularly, just to do that together as a group and create that. And, you know, be guided by Arlene Phillips and just be surrounded by so many incredible people. Paul Taylor Mills putting yet again another thing together, you know.
Literally.
I know, bless him. So yeah, it was wonderful. It was a real. In fact, I think Hair. It's people were like, was it special because of the time we're in? And I actually think Hair would have been special, full stop.
Yeah.
But it was just added, magicalness because of the time that we're in.
Yeah, it was a bit different as well because it was on the jetty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like very different from what you'd normally go and see, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I think it's amazing that not just our industry are adapting, but our audiences are as well.
Yeah.
And people are being so supportive, and that's so important. And we do have to adapt. We have to adapt. I know everybody would like to go back to full houses and stuff like that, but we just can't right now. We gotta. You always have to put health first, because without it, what do we have?
Nothing. Not really anything.
And just like with the driving, it's such a different thing altogether, because you're performing to people, but you can't really always see their faces because they're in their cars. So it's just a bit this is weird, and it's such a big audience as well. It's a bit oh.
Yeah. I think I did two, right? I did one outside, and that was amazing. And one outside. They were both outside. One on a hot, sunny day, so people were outside, is what I meant to say. And people were in front of us. We could physically see them. They were then leaning into their cars and beeping and stuff, and that was really cute. And then that was the 6 kind of based one. And then I did another one which was for Godspell, where I was 4 days out of getting my plaster off my face from a massive nose up. I had these cysts cut out of my nose. Anyway, moving on. So I didn't know if I was even going to be able to sing. Yeah, and the weather was pouring. It was cold. It was windy. I was like, joy. But it was still magical, because it was it felt resilient. And it felt like the epitome of everything that we were doing was to be resilient against this, and to fight against the fact that, the economy kind of is the way it is shutting us down. It was resilient, and the environment we were in just kind of highlighted that. So it felt kind of really strong. I don't know, I will stand up here in my coat and sing, Beautiful City to you all as you stare at me from your wet car windows. Why not? But yeah, and then actually at the end of that, Sinead was like, can you just do a couple of extra numbers? So I whacked out Heaven on Their Minds again, and As Long As You're Mine with Matt Craig. We were like, what are we doing? But luckily I could sing, because I had not sung for about 10 days, I don't think, since my op at that point. But yeah, both of them amazing experience, just very different, depending on the weather.
Yeah, we went to one that was quite wet, and then one that was more, I mean, it was cold, but it was it warm? Not warm. I mean, sunny. Oh, Jesus.
You're right.
Oh, dear.
I think the 6th one we got sunburn from sitting on the car.
Oh my God,
One side of our body was just sunburned.
My face on one side, my nose was fully red, and then this side was just pale, and I was like, what?
What have we done?
That's so rude. But yeah, it's just so different. It's something I've never done before, ever.
Yeah, and I was so sad about the 6 driving being cancelled.
I know.
Getting to do a couple of them was it was really nice. Sorry, that's me. It's my laptop. I get emails 24/7. I'm sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I just got one too. I forgot to turn off the notifications, so I saw. Whoopsie.
I don't know how to do that. How do you do that?
It's in notification settings.
Are you on your laptop?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but is it in is it?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone listening, that we're currently talking about emails.
Just so.
It's fine. I was actually thinking I might turn mine off quickly. So
we're gonna be a little.
Sorry, we might have to cut and then start again. But I might turn mine off because it's really annoying.
There we go.
Oh no, it's just really frustrating when you're trying to edit it together and you're like, oh, there's an email. So frustrating. Moving swiftly
Let's
onwards.
go to the next question. So with obviously you've done a bit of touring, you've done a bit of West End. What is your more favourite thing to do?
Ooh, international touring.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm such a traveller. I love travelling. I love seeing the world. I love experiencing, different cultures and how countries do things differently to other countries, and I just love seeing the locals. I just, oh my God, I love different food from all over the world, the incredible things that the world has to offer naturally. And so when I can combine my career with that, it's just the best of both worlds. It's a Hovis, as I like to call it, best of both.
Oh, I see.
A Hovis situation, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love international touring so much, so much. So that's my fave. And also the theatres worldwide are like massive. So I think I remember like performing in one. There was like 6,000 people. I was like, this is not a theatre. This is a small arena.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing. So international touring is my fave. I think there'll be some like, ooh, really, from people, because quite often people are like, oh, you've done the international. It's like, yeah, man, I did it all over the world. Like, who are you? So, but yeah, no, I do. International touring is my fave.
I can see that. I feel like that would be like such like a whirlwind experience.
Yeah.
It's also an excuse to just see new places. You're like, well, whilst I'm here, I might as well explore everywhere and like get like little things from everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, even on my, you know, it's hard because if you've got quite a difficult part, normally at home you try and sleep in and take it easy in the day so you can give everything at night. But my God, did I push my limits when I was doing Alphabet, because I just wanted to be up in the morning and seeing everything. And on my days off, I remember one time we travelled to these yellow mountains in China, and it was like 5 hours in the car there, 5 hours in the car back, and that was the day off. When we came to the next day, and I was like,
oh. No.
But you know, you live once, so
oh my gosh.
Exactly.
China, wow.
Yeah.
Damn, I've not. I feel like I now need to go and like see a show that I know abroad, just so that I can like feel like I'm part of it. Like the travel aspect.
Absolutely.
That'd be so fun. Okay, so you've done a lot of roles that are like people's dream roles that they say, like Heather Chandler, Alphabet, you know. But are there any that you are yet to play that were your dream roles before you started, and then also some that you might have like since being in the industry thought of?
So this is, people are so shocked when I say this, but two of my dream roles are Glinda and Christine.
Oh yes.
Because I think people are quite shocked when I say that, because they're not aware that that's kind of where my voice lies, but it naturally lies as a soprano. Yeah. And all my kind of agent interest came from playing Rosa Budd in third year at GSA in Edwin Drood, which is, you know, an ingenue, a legit ingenue. I'd love to, oh my God, two of my dream parts are those. I'd love to go back in and do Alphabet again as well, just because I was quite young when I did it, still in my 20s, but I think when I'm in my 30s, I'd like to go and give it a crack, because I still think my voice is quite young. Even the way I speak, you can hear that my voice hasn't done its next break.
Yeah.
Us girls' voices do break, everybody. That, and Molly and Ghost is another one that I'd love to do. But actually, in terms of my career, I really want to do some more straight acting. I'd love to do some plays, really hard-hitting ones that really challenge me as an actress, that involve a lot of forward research, a lot of, not method acting as such, but yeah, probably, you know, taking yourself out of oneself and becoming. Like, I really want to do stuff like that. For me, it's always been the acting that drives me. So if someone says to me, oh, you sounded so great in that, I'm like, oh, cheers. If somebody says to me, oh my God, your performance, your character, that's the ones that I'm like, yes.
Crushed it.
I've done it.
Yeah, like even with Kay Howard, when people don't really clap, I'm like, come on. No, it's a good thing, because they're shocked at kind of the twist in that song.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh
I remember
my
you telling
God.
me, and I was
Like
like,
you can listen to that song so many times and not quite get the meaning, and then seeing it live and seeing like someone literally go through all the emotions, you're like, oh God.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. It's it's an odd one because Sixes, it is a pop concert, and there are two moments that I think are quite hard hitting, which is probably Heart of Stone, but it's still the big romantic ballad, really.
Yeah.
And you kind of expect a bit of a tearjerker with the ballad, but with All You Want to Do, you don't expect it at all. So I feel like a bit of responsibility to really educate young girls in the audience, men in the audience, females in the audience, non-binary people in the everyone in the audience, that it's not okay to do that to anybody. Often it's this must not happen to young girls. No, it should never. But it's a message to all humans, And I think if I've done a good enough job as an actress to make them feel awkward without even realising, then that's the issue, right? With that kind of thing, is that people sometimes don't even realise anything's happening and subconsciously choose to ignore it. And when you can't ignore it and your subconscious realises something's wrong and you're trying to work out what it is, that is literally the icing on the cake with that number. It's the challenge of getting that balance nightly. But yeah, for me, it's the acting that drives me. And I'd love to move into TV and film and play like the oddest, weirdest, darkest parts you could imagine. It's really weird, right? You would not expect that. And often have to play against my look, I think, sometimes. People often think they look at me and like, this little Jim Bunny blonde bimbo. It's like, no, I'm not. I'm actually just a goof and get driven by the oddest of things. So yeah, so that's kind of where I want to veer off into. Hopefully, I'd never say goodbye to musical theatre though. I love it. Like it's in my veins.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to branch out.
Yeah. Well. You can say you've done. Sorry. Oh my God, that's so funny. Sorry, I've lost it.
You're right.
Yeah, there was a noise. It just made me laugh. Yeah, you can say you've sort of done everything. Then you can be like, I've done the straight acting, I've done the musicals, I've done TV and film. Like you can be like, yes.
I also think it'd be so fun to play a character that's so different from like who you are. And see how you got into that, and see what you could draw from real life, and kind of feel like being a dark, evil person, like evil.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you say that, but Heather Chandler is so far from me. But I just kind of do a good job at playing those parts, which is hilarious because I am nothing like that. I think almost people are a bit disappointed when they meet me at stage door and they're like,
"Oh, you're not mean."
Why aren't you like fierce and like I'm like, all right.
Yeah, well, that leads nicely into the next question, though. To be fair.
Yeah. So, what character have you played that is like most like you? Would you say is most like you, and then what character is like the most furthest away from anything you are?
I'd say the character that was most like me is probably Margot in Legally Blonde.
Love that.
I love that.
Bless her. Bit like very giving and a bit like goofy and sometimes misses the point that everybody else is doing. And the one furthest away from me, actually I found a lot of connection in myself with Sherry in Rock of Ages as well, with the way that we portrayed her. We went quite realism with that and went more to a real girl that's misunderstood, and then she shows her strength. And I kind of feel that sometimes that I'm quite often misunderstood before people know me. They have a perception. But least like me is probably Heather Chandler. It's got to be, because I am so not like that at all. Maybe the dead Chandler, where she was like scatty, maybe. But the live Chandler, the living, breathing Chandler, like it's probably everything I strive not to be.
Yeah.
So that was, and actually Catherine Howard, is cutthroat with some of the things she does, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm being so mean. And but then she's again misunderstood, and so I can find a connection in that. But yeah, Chandler.
Yeah, I mean,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you're not like Chandler.
Right?
Yeah, that
I know. Whenever someone says to me like, "That's just my favourite character," I'm like,
Is she?
Okay, well, just don't be like her.
Yes, don't idolize her in that way. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, I remember seeing it and being like, whoa, she's a savage. She
Totally,
just takes nothing from no one, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, dearie dear. Okay, if you could play a role from the opposite gender, what would you want to play?
Judas in Jesus
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard you say that before.
Yeah, I literally, that part, I'm like, isn't it the dream though to play the antagonist? Come on, like, and what's so funny is, it's actually Judas's story, not Jesus's story. And I think until you've educated yourself properly on that show, you probably don't realise you're not following Jesus at all. You're following Judas. And you oddly feel sorry for him when he kills himself in it. Spoiler alert if you've never seen Judas.
Spoiler.
You oddly as an audience are like, oh no, like he was so misunderstood. Was he, or was he just, yeah, well, who knows? But yeah, I'd love to delve into that part and oh, come on. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, sick. I just love it. Love it.
I love that.
That's amazing. That would be pretty epic, actually. Could you imagine if there was a female Judas? Would that work? I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure.
You need. Well, who knows? I mean, anything should work. It's just whether society is like, all right.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine male Heathers?
Yes, I really want
to see. That'd be so good.
That would be amazing.
Carlo in a tartan trouser.
Oh,
damn yeah.
That would work. We could do that. Poor Taylor Mills, can you get on that, please? Thank you. That'd be amazing. Okay.
We're doing, yeah.
We've got a quick fire.
We're gonna just like quick fire. So we're gonna test you. They're not like very like
hard,
in depth, like hard questions. But first of all, chocolate or sweets?
Chocolate.
Okay.
Good answer.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
I mean,
obviously, gotta love a good dog. So a song that whenever you listen to it,
wow,
a song that when you listen to it, the world just like stops. You just have to like listen to it and just be in that song.
And belt it out, maybe. I don't know.
Because You Loved Me by Celine Dion.
Ooh, yes.
And neither of you have probably ever heard it, so go listen to it after this.
I have listened to it.
No,
don't you?
Yeah, you so many people I've never heard it. I'm like, wow.
We know Celine Dion. I mean,
yeah, she's my queen.
But she's done more than the Titanic, and I think people forget that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. My god, yeah.
What is a show that you could never get bored of going to see? Like
Hamilton.
Oh really? I feel like it's a very long one, so I feel like, you know, it's like when people say like Les Mis for that, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Hamilton's genius. It's genius.
It's very clever.
But also the choreography in Hamilton is just so much like to take in as well. There's so many things you can like pick out every time.
Yeah.
Like
the storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch it on Disney Plus when it came out?
Yeah, I did. I've also watched it on Broadway and West End. Yeah. And for me, the Broadway was more like shabam, and the West End was more like, this is the story, listen to this. So for me, I was like, in the West End cast, I was like, oh my gosh. Because I resonated with the story more. Maybe that was just because it's the second time I've watched it, so I concentrated more on the detail.
Maybe. Or,
I don't know, but it blew me away. Just the integrity that the cast had for every word they said was spot on.
Yeah, I feel like they do
You do?
they do things differently on Broadway. Like, we've seen 2 shows on Broadway, but one that was also in the West End, so we can compare them. And it like I just think that it's just different. I don't quite know how to like describe it. It's just, I mean, their theatres are a bit weird as well. Like,
yeah.
they're just not like, they don't feel as like, I feel like West End theatres, for me, they feel more like homey, and I mean, maybe it's because it's my own country, but like, they feel like really like pretty, and like there's chandeliers and the decor.
It's because they're hundreds of years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of history there, and there's newer in America, but I do know what you mean.
Yeah, but they're similar sizes though, aren't they?
I mean, most Broadway ones are a lot bigger.
Are they bigger?
Yeah, I think Broadway, not all, but on an average, tend to be bigger. Yeah.
Oh. Wow. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah. So cozy or dressing up?
Cozy.
I feel that.
Feel that. And what is your favourite season of the year?
Summer. I am such a summer baby. It is unreal. Like, I'm okay with the cold some of the time, but I just love the freedom of summer, I think. I love the outdoors. I love the heat. I love wearing shorts and feeling the sun on my legs, and you don't get that in December.
Yeah. I mean, I prefer cozy, like, winter clothes. See, this
I
is the
prefer
thing.
like autumn and spring. I love
okay,
I love the
ground,
autumn and spring area because I like the kind of the warmth, but also the chill.
Yeah, I feel ya.
It's so unpredictable though. It's like you go out and it looks so warm, and you go outside and you're like, oh, I'm freezing. It's not good, is it? And the last question is our absolute classic question that we have to ask to everyone.
Yeah.
So obviously the name of the podcast is Showtime Shenanigans. So do you have any Showtime shenanigans where something has gone wrong on stage or off stage?
Oh my god, how long have you got?
Ages.
I am
Go for it.
I'm known for little mishaps. In 6, for example, I have, obviously Catherine Howard says the name of the place a lot, and I've often been like, hello Cheltenham, we're in Chichester.
Oh no.
I said Salford so many times because we were there so long. I've dropped my mic in Ex-Wives halfway across the stage. I had to like find it between the girls' legs.
Wow.
I got my witch dress in the trapdoor when you're speaking to Dorothy. I slammed it down and tried to walk away, and my dress was got in there. When Jamie Moscato said bell jar, he said gel bar instead of bell jar. Was it gel bar? Yeah. I was going to be dead on the floor, and I was like jiggling up and the whole audience started laughing. I actually did choke on the drain cleaner once and couldn't stop coughing, so it was very hard to be dead. What else have I done? I've sang verse 2 instead of verse 1 in Fame the musical, playing Carmen at the end of the show. Oh, that'd be I'll let him in a sec. And my shirt popped open in Rock of Ages when I wasn't meant to be in my underwear. There's loads. I've done loads.
Goodness gracious. Speaking of Liam, obviously, because he performs too, are there any like couples that you guys would just love to play?
He would love to do Fiera and Elphaba, but I don't know. But I think maybe Molly and Sam and Ghost, because he's played Sam before and he's an amazing Sam.
Yeah, of course.
And one of my dream parts. So I think I think Molly and Sam. Oh, do you know what I'd love to do with Bonnie and Clyde?
Oh, that'd be so good, because that's so like, it's so just like they're like at each other but they're not, and then it's just like it's such a drama, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's how a relationship is, you know. So, yeah.
I mean, don't go spilling the tea. You'll see it in the newspaper tomorrow, like Jodie Steele falling out with.
No, it's good. I just realised I've got a Heather's thing hanging up here. I wear it for runs. Look at that.
Oh, I think doesn't Carrie wear her Heather's jumper?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Yeah, I just
we do. We both wear it for runs. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, that's pretty much all we have for you today.
Nice. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go and let Liam in now because he's just buzzed the bell, and I'm just texting being like, just hold on a minute, I'm just doing a podcast.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys, you're both so lovely. I hope you have a gorgeous week.
Thank
You
you,
too,
and
thank you very much.
And good luck with opening and everything.
Thank
It's all
you.
so
Thank you
exciting.
guys. Loads
Alright.
of love. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was so much fun talking to Jodie. I'm so glad she's
Came
just
on.
a beautiful soul.
She's just,
Absolutely.
we just said off camera, we were like, she just like radiates good energy and sunshine and happiness.
Yeah,
And she's just
which is
a gem to talk to. So I feel very lucky to be able to talk to someone who's so like, because she's very big in the West End as well. Yeah, so it's just such like a privilege to be able to see. I just can't function.
she's so in love right now. She's like,
So thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that episode with Jodie Steele.
Thank you also to Jodie Steele for coming on and
Yes.
joining us. It was very lovely. And we will see you next week with another podcast. Please like and subscribe. No, I'm joking. Yeah.
Like, subscribe,
if you watch it
follow.
on YouTube, follow, do all the things. If you're listening, click like subscribe to the thingy because listen to our podcast. Thanks very much.
Because we know how many of their people out there are. Ooh. So thank you for watching. Hope you have a lovely rest of your week, day, year,
Life.
life.
And we will see you very soon with another podcast.
Bye.